done to try and support the teachers. It's freely available, and like I said, interactive code, interactive grading. It's another resource to be able to become more familiar with the Wolfram language.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's sections, Wolfram Knowledge-Based Search Engine. My name is Desmond Lim. I will be the facilitator for today. And Peter will be helping out at the chat room. If you have any question during the presentation, during the training, you can always type your question at the chat room and we will try to come back to you on that as well. And we are happy to have you all here on time, especially those of you that came in earlier. And we actually have more than 130 people sign up for the course. But I believe, as usual, there will be some people that couldn't turn up at the last minute. But some of them probably will come in a bit late as well. It's okay. We'll just get started. We have a few things to catch up during today's sections. I believe some of you have joined us last Thursday sections on the introduction to Wolfram programming language. So some of you already gone through with us and know a bit about this Wolfram language, but it's okay. Today we'll be focused on the Wolfram knowledge-based engine. So on this thing, so we'll let you know what is Wolfram knowledge-based engine, what it can do, how we can be benefit from it, and also how we could access this Wolfram engine, whether we have the license or without license. We can access it either way. All right, without further ado, let me share with you my slide. Okay. Here is today's sections. By the way, before we get started, just want to let you know the certificate of attendance will be available at the end of today's sections. So stay tuned with us and you'll get all the information later on. All right. Wolfram knowledge-based search engine. And here is my email. If you have anything after the sections that you would like to contact us, please write to us. And today's section will be recorded, and hopefully it will be made available to all of you later on as well. Okay, first of all, a lot of people might wonder what is Wolfram knowledge-based engine. This is actually a computational knowledge engine, or we say answer engine, developed by Wolfram Research. Okay? We know that normal search engine respond to our queries with pages of link, which also include many advertisement link who pay to have their page rank on top of the keywords that we search. And because of that, sometimes we have to manually go through the search result by crawling through the written links one by one, page by page. And for daily non-technical search, is okay. But sometimes it could be quite frustrating and also time-consuming if we are looking for some simplified or reliable data and informations. On the other hand, Wolfram engine, it does not return a list of web pages or documents based on the keyword that we type in, like a normal search engine does. So our Wolfram engine, it actually generates the simplified answer by automatically doing computation from a knowledge-based data that gather from many other official sites, books, published data, organizations, or papers. And with Wolfram engine, we create the queries. You can create the queries in natural language, and it will be interpreted, and then returning all the relevant information or computation we ask for, including graphics, table, pictures, and most amazingly, it also includes step-by-step solution for our technical questions. Let us have a look, a quick video, so you have a better understanding what Wolfram Alpha can be done for us.
Wolfram Alpha is an amazing new tool that's available on the web. It's not a search engine, it's a computational knowledge engine. What does that mean? Well, imagine if you could collect the world's knowledge, things like facts, measurements, equations, history, trends, and calculations, and store them in a big box that's plugged into a brainy supercomputer. That's Wolfram Alpha. It combines knowledge with computational power to give you answers about nearly anything and everything you want to know. When you want to find out about something, such as the nutritional content of your breakfast, Wolfram Alpha is smart enough to understand what you're trying to figure out, and it uses its knowledge to compute the results. Whether you're trying to crack a crossword puzzle, discover scientific facts, or solve an advanced mathematical equation, Wolfram Alpha gives you instant access to expert knowledge whenever you need it. That's Wolfram Alpha in a nutshell. But you might be wondering, how is Wolfram Alpha different from Google? Well, Google searches the web, seeking out web pages that relate to what you typed. From there, for the most part, it's your job to find the information you need. Wolfram Alpha is different. It doesn't search for web pages. Instead, it computes exact answers using its vast and ever-expanding collection of knowledge and allows you to discover so much more.
All right. As you see, it's summarized at what I mentioned just now. So what we can have a look next is how actually we can access to this Wolfram engine. There are a few ways that you can access. First is through the Metaclass software. So for those of you that sign up this course and also say you want the free Metaclass software, especially those from USM, Monash University, which you are entitled to a free personal license, you actually will have sent you the Wolfram user portal link for you to download the installer and also activation key, which you can install at your laptop personal PC. And if you have this installed, you can launch it, and straight away from Wolfram Metaclass software, you already have this Wolfram Alpha engine built in. You can straight away go in and open up the engine in the Metaclass itself. The Metaclass is like what you see in the presentation slide right now is actually in the Wolfram Metaclass software itself. So if you came in last week or you have some knowledge about Wolfram Metaclass, you know that we can actually do all kind of computation right away in this workspace. For instance, if I type 2 by 2 and then execute, you actually run it. So you know that right now we actually inside the Wolfram Metaclass. And for those that you don't have the free license, you actually also might have already requested the 30 days full feature license from us during the sign up. So you also can install the Mathematica license in your laptop with the 30-day activations. And what if for those that you don't have Mathematica license or even the 30-day license, we also can access through this browser, this URL, www.wolframalpha.com. So you actually can go through this website to activate this Wolfram engine. There will be a free basic versions, and also if you make a little bit premium for a pro version with additional features and functions like step-by-step solutions, like import, export big data, and also like problem generator and some other feature for the pro premium. But I can assure you, is for a normal usage, most of the student or normal user, they don't really need to go for the pay or pro version. The free wolframalpha.com is good enough. Even for the example that we're going to show with you in this today training, you can go through this wolframalpha.com without paying anything. So today, we will go through a lot of example interchange with the first and second method, either with Mathematica software or with the Wolfram Alpha browser. The third way to access the Wolfram engine is through the add-on for some external software or third-party software, which I will go into show you also by the end of the training. So how actually you can make use of this in other software. Please remind me just in case I forgot to mention about these third options. All right, I think for the first example, we'll go to the wolframalpha.com. If most of you have not activated your Mathematica license, you can follow the example, the exercise today in the wolframalpha.com. Yeah, I click on this one, it should be able to bring us to the website. Let me also type in the chat room. So if you need to have the access, so it's wolframalpha.com. This is the website. If you click on it, you should be able to see this page. Okay, it's just like a lot of search engine interface. We have a row of input line that you can type in the query that we want to either calculate or to search to know about. And beside, at the bottom here, they have a few different categories with many domains, so that when you click in, user will learn how to ask those things in this area and how to get the answer from it. And you have a better understanding if you can go through some of this. Let us go through some of this, so you have some idea if this is the first time that you are using this Wolfram engine. Let's say we go for chemistry. If you are in the area of chemistry, so you probably will see, okay, how actually you can make use of this. So in chemistry, you can see, you can ask the question about chemical elements, chemical compound, like just ask what is carbon, maybe chemical quantities, chemical solutions, functional groups, thermodynamics, and maybe quantum chemistry, nuclear chemistry, all those questions you can be asked. For example, let's say we want to know something about the ions, about these three different ions. So what we need to do in this example is just click on the equal sign here, or click on the whole column, this button here. When you click it, you actually copy this question and put inside the input line. As you might notice, this Wolfram Alpha website, I actually have a pro versions. My one already signed in with my account. So yours one, you probably, if you don't have a pro versions, you probably just sign in as a basic version. But you can see most of the features should be almost the same. Only that you don't have the option for data download, import, export, and maybe step-by-step solution. But you can see, you can get the answer as well. It's the same with the free version and the pro version. And for the pro version, at this moment, only Monash University campus, they do subscribe to it. So all the student and lecturer, if you are from Monash, you're actually entitled to this pro version as well. Okay, come back to the query we key in about the iron. You can see if you type in these 3 different irons, your output will automatically came out with the structure diagram for these all 3 irons with their properties, general properties, put it side by side, and also other properties and so on. All is here. Okay, this is very handy. If you're looking this or you type in this one in the Google search or any other search engine, I don't believe you can straight away get some summary like this. Maybe in the chemistry, you can also type in the reactions. I think you saw some of these reaction that sample that we shown you last week by Peter. So just type in your chemistry variant equations. 0.2 mole CH4 plus O2. They will know how to interpret. They know what is this, give the name of it, and balance the equations and show the stoichiometric table structure. You can either see the Lewis structures, skeletal structures. You have some option at the right-hand side here. Okay, with the work equations and reaction thermodynamic, all those are given. Okay, if you see there's button available like step-by-step solution, you can further click in so they can also open up the step-by-step for us to see how actually you can reach your final result from the initial input. So you see, if I click the step-by-step, you can see the first step, next, and show all steps. If I want to show straight away until the outcome. Of course, these options, the step-by-step solution is come with the pro versions only. All right. So for this basic version, you can see the final output, but not a step-by-step. But good news is if you have Wolfram Mathematica license, the step-by-step solution is available inside Mathematica. If you use the Mathematica to call the Wolfram engine, you can access the step-by-step without paying anything. All right. So there is some advantage if you have the Mathematica license as well. But let us see other things. Besides the chemistry, the example I just shown you, maybe you can check out something like art and media and see what we can get. Maybe we can check, there will be like televisions, movies, famous artwork, fictional character, comics, radio program, or music. Let's see what we have in the music. So if you are say, oh, I'm not a mathematical people or not a science people, this is something not relevant to me. But in fact, it is also quite useful, even if you are not from the science stream. I see all the music theory thing, like I can identify several intervals. If you want to know about maybe the C major, C minor, or D minor, you can type in this one and see what it is about. So you tell me exactly what this symbol about, and how is the notations, and where is location in the keyboard. You can even play the sound. If I create a play sound, yeah, you can hear that. So in fact, you can create your short, small song if you want. I mean, you can just type in your keyword so that then play for you. So this is something actually can be used by almost all domains. Okay, this is some of the example only. So maybe let's say about linguistic. Let's say we have here works and linguistic. Because I know that some of you came from this works and linguistic department, so that get some information about the Mandarin. Just key in Mandarin language. So you compute all the information about this language, like what are the basic property, how many people are using right now, the native speaker, 921 million people, the information statistic came from, and a place with most speaker, China, and with some graphics like the native speaker and speaker around the world map. And also you can see there will be some language usage compared to other language that compared to English language, 0.53 is shorter compared to English word, and some basic vocabulary as well. So there's quite some information for the user to grab on straight away from this Wolfram engine compared to other search engine. And maybe you have a question, where this information came from? How do I know it's reliable? So at the end, at the bottom of every search result, there will be a button called sources. Okay, on the top left here. If you are using Mathematica, they will be at the top right. But if you click on this sources, you show us the primary source is, of course, Wolfram Alpha Knowledge Base 2020. So if your works, your research, your paper involve some information from here, you actually put the station to Wolfram Alpha Knowledge Base 2020. And you also can see what's the external sources that probably contribute to this output. Those are the links that actually you can refer to as well. Okay. So at the very bottom, you can always see where's the sources from, or you can straight away download the page. All right. So we have tried with some of the example that came straight away from the page here, but we can straight away type in our query instead of click on the example. For instance, we can straight away type, if you're looking for something generic, say derivative. Okay, I type derivative, then enter. Then Wolfram will try to understand what we're looking for. Say the first sentence came out, assuming our derivatives is refer for computations. But sometimes you want to use this as you want to search as a general topics, or you want to use it as a mathematical definitions, or even you want to search the meaning as a word or referring to a course application instead. So there will be some other options. If you think this is the first assumption is not correct, you can click a word. Maybe you just want looking for the definition for this derivative. Then you click on it, then you came up with different output. Okay, assuming that we are looking for a computational input about derivatives, then this Wolfram engine also will automatically came out with a fill-in form for us to actually write in formulas, so to better present in a visualization way that we can better understand what these derivatives mean. So you can see that this function, you want to differentiate 3x cubed plus 2x. You can change this value if you want to, and then click compute, then you came out with different visual output right away, right? So it's very versatile, and it actually interact with the end user. So once I change it, you can see the derivative change. Then it represent the plot, and it show me the geometry about a figure. This is parabola and alternate form, and some other property as well for this derivative. Okay. Let me come back to the Wolfram's Mathematica, so that if for those that actually using Mathematica, you can also know how to activate the Wolfram engine. So let me open a new notebook in Mathematica itself. Okay, right now I am in Mathematica. I open a new notebook. If you came in last week, you already know this is the horizontal and with a cursor blinking here. This is the input line. So this is where we type in our things for the calculation. Let's say I say 2 multiply 5, shift enter, you actually come with output 10. So this is how we actually interact in the Wolfram Mathematica. But to activate the Wolfram engine in Mathematica, this is how we do. We click on the plus sign here. Okay. You can see there will be two options. The first one by default is the Wolfram language, means that that is the Wolfram programming language input. But we are now using a Wolfram engine query, which is natural language. You don't need to know about a programming language. Just type like what we normal search engine do. So you can select the freeform input and Wolfram Alpha query. Let me click on this one and we come into more detail. What is a Wolfram Alpha query and this freeform input? The first one, I click freeform input. It came out with a rectangle, orange color equal sign. This is a freeform input. So maybe I just type okay, what did I did just now? Maybe I just say 10-day weather forecast. If you have Metadata with you right now, or if you're at the Wolfram Alpha website, you can type in the query as well to see how it actually came out from your computer. Of course, if you're using Metadata, the output sometimes will take a while depending on your internet connection speed, and also sometimes depend on the output that which is involve a lot of picture, then it will be depend on your computation power. It might take a while to come out. Okay. So this is my query, 10-day weather forecast. So I just type this one. I didn't tell them where it is. It automatically detect, okay, this is for ground, where my IP address right now is. So it actually forecast 24 Celsius clear for today. What is this? Excuse me. I want to show you, this is with the this is with the freeform input. But what if I choose Wolfram Alpha query? I type in the same thing, 10-day weather forecast. Enter. You'll see the difference is with a freeform input, it came back with one simplified output straight away to the result we're looking for. Okay, without showing a lot of other information. Means that this freeform input is direct to the simplified answer. But if we go to Wolfram Alpha query, the symbol is different. With its star shape, it means that show all the relevant informations and also the final output as well. Okay, so you can see when I tap this one, it interpret weather forecast next 10 days, and then it's for crank, say it showed last night, today, tonight, and there will be more detail or more days button as well, or some non-metric information. You can further click in to see all these things. And some also visual this week, next week, and some other, let's say right now it shows temperature, the cloud cover, conditions, precipitation rate, wind speed, all for this week, and also the weather station information that came back with this weather info. So this is actually came from the Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah Airport. Okay, it is where the positions 15 km from Klang. You can click and show more about this weather station if you want to see and more confident with this information came from. You can click on it, it show all these locations or all this information about these weather stations. If you have this query inside Wolfram Alpha website, let us compare what it is look like. It should be more or less the same. But it has some graphics here. Okay, but here information are the same. So even if you don't have the Metrica license or the paid Wolfram Alpha Pro versions, you still can access to all this. And one thing you also can see the satellite image. If you click satellite image of these weather stations, it straight away bring us to it, where the location of this weather station is nearby the Subang Airport. You can see here. Okay. So there's a lot of information besides just a normal query that we just type in. Okay. All the information here, if you have the pay versions of Wolfram Alpha in the website or Wolfram Alpha Pro, you can download all this information. You can click, okay, let's say I want to download this data. You click data, download. You can ask what kind of format you want to download. You want to download the spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet or CSV or any graphic or vector graphic or Wolfram data format. You can click on it straight away, download. Okay, if you want to, you can also download as a graphic as well, straight away as a graphic that you probably want to use in other software or presentations. So the options are available and easily download to what you want. Okay. So you can see if I download for a different spreadsheet usage, table, CSV, TSV is all available. Right? So those are two different way of calling Wolfram engine, but both are valid. Okay, whether you are using Metoka or Wolfram Alpha Pro. Let us try some other queries. Let's say we can type in something like if we turn on this one, Wolfram Alpha query. I like to use Wolfram Alpha query compared to freeform input because I can see more output. Besides just a result that is shown in one simplified line. But of course, if I select this simplified line and then I type my query, say 30 years old male, you can change any value here, whether using Wolfram Alpha query or using the Wolfram Alpha website or in Metoka itself, it doesn't matter. You can try it here. You probably change to your age, change to your gender, the height, your weight, or probably want to running for 30 minutes and the speed is 6 minutes per mile. And you see, you came out all sort of statistic or information about this exercise, how much you consume and what is a standard rate compared to others. Are you in a normal range or out of the range? All the information can come out. And you can see our query are very versatile as well. You can actually combine with the different imperial unit or SI unit. You can have mile, you can have kg, you can have inch. It's very flexible. But the Wolfram Alpha engine know what it wants, and they can automatically convert and come out the result for us. Okay, so this is the simplified output. But as I mentioned, I like to have the Wolfram Alpha full information rather than a simplified output. So if you already start with the Wolfram query, but you start with the natural input language, this one, you can always click here as well, show all results. Then you actually convert the whole thing to show us all the relevant information besides just a simplified output. So it's the same if you open up this show all result when you're using this simplified query. Okay, so you can see this query is show me the formula for the running, automatic put in all your input value like minutes, pace, gender, age, and it show me the metabolic properties, how much the energy was consumed, how much fat is burned, okay, oxygen consumptions, and the heart rate, standard heart rate per minute, and where is our range in the statistic for male and female in different age, and also the equivalent activity of having this 30 minutes running is equal to playing the racquetball for 51 minutes or playing the grooming horses for 1 hour, 10 minutes, and the speed in different unit. You can click further to show comparison, the pace, the distance, the step have been taken for this running, the time, all those kind of information, all in a summary form. No, without a lot of those description or paragraph, all those information have been put in a simplified comparison or tabular format for us for easy usage if you are looking for the your research work. Okay, I see this very handy. Okay, you can either change any of your query and to see how the output is changed. Okay, and this is for Wolfram Alpha that when we want to use it for general usage, or probably we can say it's actually for everywhere. Gather and compute data with some automatic built-in visual and static info. Okay, so for another example, maybe we want to see the information about what is the largest country in the world. See what kind of information we can get if we type this one. Okay, largest country. So, okay, assuming we are referred to the total area. So the result is Russia. With the area given, their name, the flag, and also it's still loading. As I mentioned, it depends on the connection speed and also the graphic. If it's graphic, heavy duty graphic, so it takes a while to automatically reformat the graphic to fit our screen. So it takes a while. And it shows me the location in the world map where the Russia is. Because why it takes a while to load is because the graphic is not just a 2D graphic, but in fact they are interactive. You put your cursor on the map, in fact they actually contain those different information in the map. That's why it takes a while to load it. Okay. So you can further scroll down and see all those informations: bordering country, regions, demographics, cultural properties, their language, their ethnic mix, religions, their capital city, larger city with the populations. All information is here. So that's what we may say about like in this Wolfram engine, you can compute and gather data right away. Okay, with a lot of visual and statistics. But of course, if you type this one in the normal search engine, you will get something like this as well. Of course, it's not that simplified, but you get something like this. But one thing Wolfram Alpha stand out is we provide a lot of automated tabular comparison. What do we mean is, let's say we type something like this. Okay, sorry, probably I didn't show you the shortcut key. Let me show you again. If you want to use a freeform input or Wolfram Alpha query, those are the shortcut input. You can straight away type equal sign or double equal sign to activate this one. Let's say we use this Wolfram Alpha query with the double equal sign. So when my cursor is here, you type equal, 2 times equal, you came out with this symbol. Whenever the symbol, this orange symbol is came out, then only is activated with the Wolfram engine. Okay. Once it's activated, then I can type in my query right now. Let's say I want to have a comparison about maybe cat, dog, or maybe rabbit. Okay, I just enter. If you type this thing in normal search engine, I probably came out a lot of information, a lot of links. But if Wolfram engine, you type this one, they automatically know if those things are compatible, they'll put in and compare. Okay, so they understand our input interpretation, cat, dog, rabbits, or hares, so their scientific name. Then you can see their taxonomy, which kingdom they come from, which phylum they come from, which class, orders of families are they in the same class, same family. You can see all the comparison, and also biology properties, their weight, length, physical dimensions, their sensory organ. If the information are available, they will put in the comparison. But if the information is not available, it won't simply make it up. So you see the rabbit is not here. They can't compare it here. Okay. But then they have a lot of comparison when it's available. You can see. So it becomes quite also handy if you need to do some quick comparison, tabulate output. This is where it came from. And lastly, it came with a Wikipedia summary. Okay. And this is for animals. Sometimes we probably we're looking for like maybe something like elements or physics or chemistry. This is also very, very helpful. Right? Methane versus alcohol to show us what is the chemical name. They put in a tabular, the formula, structure diagram. You can click and see different atom like diagrams or other different diagrams to show accordingly. 3D structures, you can show bond only or can show space filling model. If you want, you can click on it which is available. And of course, if some of you say, how do we, in the chat room, then ask, how do we download the result? If from the Wolfram Alpha Pro website, if you are using the basic version without pay, you don't have a direct download. With the pay version, you can download and choose the feature, the format that you want. If basic one, you have to screen download, or you can just right click on the picture to download, and you can't directly download for the basic one. But if it came from the, if you are using Mathematica, you can right click on this one to actually save and download right away. Even this one, a table form, you can have the options to select, I want to have the computable data or format data or quantity. Of course, this involve a big programming language involved. Let's say I click computable data or maybe just quantity data. So it's shown here at the bottom here, you came out with the data that actually came out in the Wolfram programming language format. So you put in one list. For this one, if you know the language, you actually can straight away export this one or to Excel or to ESV and put it in the column and row accordingly. Or straight away can use this for further computation or visualization if you want. So there's an option available by clicking on this plus sign here to select what you want to download or what information you want to call out. Okay, so this is how actually we can get the information. Right. See, this is the chemistry elements that I mentioned. It shows side by side. Gas property for methane, for ethanol, liquid property, and this is very handy. Okay, beside this generic computations with visual and statistic, I think one of the important feature in Wolfram engine is the ability of solving problems, especially for the science or finance or linguistics or those calculations. But when it comes to mathematics, this is extra feature that we like the most because it has the step-by-step solution feature that can help us to understand better how the calculation works. Okay, for instance, let's say I have some questions about integrations. Maybe I have some school assignment, how to do this integrate of x squared to the sine to the power 3 dx. If I enter this one, not only it came back with the result, okay, this is how it read it, the output in indefinite integral, this is the result. Not only you can see a result and visual and other alternate form of feature, you also can see the step-by-step solution. Of course, if I am looking for the output only, then I can change with a single equal sign, means that I only want a simplified output. If I type this one, simplify output, this is the output right away. It don't have shown a lot of all information, which I don't care if you don't want to. But if I click show all result, it came back with everything, visual and also step-by-step. The step-by-step is very helpful, especially for those complicated computations. Like if I click on this one, still loading. If you see the bracket at the back here, it's corresponding to this input line. Like for instance, some of you might wonder, how do I erase this thing or delete this thing? You can select on the bracket and then right click and just cut it, then the whole cell will be gone. Okay, so if you don't want this output or anything, you can just select the bracket and then right click, copy or cut or paste, then you'll be doing according to like most of the software. Okay, when I click show step by step, you can see it gives all the possible intermediate steps. How from start until we get the final answer. This involve probably around 15 steps as well. So this is how actually we get the answer. not only that we're solving equations like this. Let me delete this one. I don't want to keep too many things floating on my page, so it probably affect my computations. So if you don't want this, right click, cut, okay? And let's say not only is showing some normal computations, but it also have the ability to do some proving left-hand side to right-hand side for some mathematical calculations. It is not easy, okay? But Mathematica able to do this. It just came out probably 2 years ago. So if you prove it, how to prove the left-hand side to right-hand side is equal, you can just run this one, okay? Let me show the step-by-step. You say now the result is true, but I want to see the step-by-step to prove this solution. Then you actually say, okay, how to prove? First step, verify the following identity, multiply the numerator and denominator of this one by cos x. So this is how actually you do the step. How to prove left to right are identical. It's not easy, but Mathematica able to do this. I think it is quite amazing. If you are teaching something like mathematics in this area, I think that is quite will be appreciated. Yeah. Okay. How to prove this one with the assumptions? You click a step by step. You show all the steps. Right? And also for something simple visualizations, you can get it from Mathematica as well. And one thing, let's say you are using, if you already have Mathematica license, and you want to show this in your classroom, and what you can do is you can straight away type in your Mathematica workspace and get this output. Or you can also select, let's say, I don't want to see this improve. I straight away, I want to see the step here or the output here. You can select and delete the input line. So it's gone, but it won't affect your output. Your output is still there. Okay? So they are actually quite flexible. You can select which bracket that you don't want, you just delete it. Once your output is complete, it's there. If it's okay for you to remove the output. Or if you want, you can just copy this output and open a new Mathematica notebook and just paste here. Okay? It is very flexible. You can just paste the answer without the input line. They have no problem with that one. Right? This is for the mathematics. And we can do some very simple, let's say I want to have a visual output, like I want to fit certain point with exponential fit. You can just type in something like that. Straight away type in your point, whether it's a single point or whether it's a coordinate or just a numbers. You can straight away run it, then Mathematica will try to plot the output for us as well. You can straight make use of this one. Okay, you can get this output. And if you want this picture, you can copy the graphic or save the graphic and make use and use it in other software. All right. So this is for mathematics. Let us go to something about the physics. Why I want to bring up the physics is because mathematics is just a calculation, but physics is not only involve the formula computation, but in physics, Wolfram engine also provide the calculator. It is something very handy for the different question. Like if I have a question about the spring pendulums with the initial length of 0.12, equivalent length is 0.24, so the equivalent length is 0.12, the initial length is 0.24, initial angle is 80 degrees. I can run this one. Then the engine, you know this input, you recognize this input, and you know this is for the spring pendulum. And also you try to have more input. If you think the input is not sufficient to do the computation, you came out with the calculator. See, this calculator, we need to know the information about the spring constant. We need to know the mass. We need to know the time. So we can go in and change this thing and click compute, and they get the output. So you read your input information. And like I mentioned, Mathematica is very flexible. You can change these values let's say instead of 6.1 second, I can put it as 0.1 minutes. It can be with any unit, and then it automatically do the computation. I click compute again. You try to read the input informations from 6.1 second to 0.1 minutes, as you can see at the bottom here. Okay, this is how it read, and then it gives me the result, the final angle from vertical, the final length, the equation that involve these calculations. Okay, and also schematic, trajectory. You don't really need to go to the physical lab to do the experiment anymore. Everything can be shown here. Even you are using for the e-learning, online lab experiment can be done with this simple Wolfram engine. Everything is here. So it is also very helpful for the physics class, like elastic collisions. Okay, with a mass 1, initial speed 1, mass 2, initial speed 2, you get the result, final speed 1, final speed 2, equations, schematic, the type evolutions, you can run it as well. How actually it happens. If you have you can type this one in the Wolfram website, the Wolfram Alpha website as well, to see how it moves on. And let's say I want to get the calculator for projectile motions, you can run this one. Just simply type something like that, projectile motion calculator. It came out with this one for us to calculate travel time if the option is available. You say, okay, you can either choose to calculate time or calculate the speed. Then you automatically change the calculator with different input or angle. So this is the equation involved, input value, result, graphics. Everything is here, right? It is very handy. Later on, I will give you an exercise to solve a questions that actually is an actual assignment from the MIT US in the undergrad course. One of the course that actually use some example that we try to make use of it, and then they actually use this Wolfram engine to solve all their questions. We'll show you this one later on, but now I want to get you familiar what is possible with different topics and how's the way that we ask to get the answer. So chemistry, you already know that you can ask the chemistry balance equations. Of course, this can be done, no problem at all. And if you want to, maybe I can copy this one, put in the chat room, because I believe some of you probably having the time to type the questions as I shown it in the screen here. So I put the chat in the chat room. You probably can copy and paste it in your Wolfram Alpha query and see the output together. So if I run this one, so balance the acidic acid plus water and hydronium ion. So this is simplified output. If I click show all result, okay, it is all the thing we can get. Rate of reaction, all right? And also some other example like molar concentrations, it automatically calculate for us the molar concentrations, or how to prepare a 2 mole HCl from concentrated HCl for 250 ml. Okay, those can be done as well. And biology, how can we make use of biology, make use of Wolfram in biology? You can straight away ask with the names where we're looking for, like the anatomical structure, okay, variance and UNA. And show me all the functional description of this bond and all relevant members and the morphologies. Just type in the name of the bone probably we're looking for. It came out, show us where it looks locations and what's the functions and where connections to. All those information is straight away summarized and put in the tabular format for us to use it. Even the UMLX, what the ID code for this bond is here as well. All right, I think that is some of the information, enough informations. Probably I would come back to the example about this computational thinking exercise. But before that, I think we will take a, it's okay, I think we go through this one, then we take a short break for the next section. So we talk about the computational thinking. Okay. In education, computational thinking is very important, right? Nowadays, it's a set of problem-solving method that I say involve expressing problem and their solution in a ways that a computer can also execute. So it actually involve automations process, like using computing to explore, analyze, and understand the process. In short, it involves how to turn a question into a procedures. We can make use of Wolfram engine with real-life example to help the student in better interpreting the question in life. So one of the example probably we want to show you is this one. When we introduce the energy unit, the joule in physics class, sometimes it is, although we understand the formula, we know the unit, but sometimes for the student, it might not be able to relate it in our real life. So this one, this example shows us how actually can make this thing more interactive and fun in the classroom. So an example we use is we introduce the Trinity bomb. The Trinity bomb is the first detonations of the nuclear weapon in 1945 in US. So the first time they tried this and then it actually bomb out. And for this one, we can also let the students say, okay, how the energy output of this Trinity bomb is humongous. We can't really imagine of it. But what if we can make them compare to something in our around us so they can have better understanding? So for instance, I probably will ask it, how many McDonald's Big Mac burger have to be consumed in order to generate the same amount of energy output like the output of the Trinity bomb? So if you have something like this, then probably a student will be, they have to think about how actually these two can be compared, how these two unit energy unit can be actually put side by side. And if you make use of Wolfram engine, or you can let the student go to Wolfram Alpha website without a license to find out how actually they can get the answer and how to convert this energy comparison for these two. So what we can do is, probably you can just type something like this. So let's say I use the Wolfram Alpha query. Then I say, okay, the yield that came from this Trinity bomb, when it compared to the calorie in a Big Mac burger, you can just type this one and see whether it actually able to find out the information from us. Okay, you can see that it straight away came out with the output. Okay, the yield, the input, it can interpret, input the nuclear explosion yield compared to a McDonald's Big Mac. One, and if the result is 4 to the power of 10 with 40 million. Okay, let's say we show the details. You can even see more clearly. So the amount of joules output from the bomb and also the calories from the Big Mac. Okay, and also we can further extend these questions like, okay, in 1945, so let's say how many Big Mac or should be consumed per people per person in the US at that time in 1945. So you can write something like that, okay, how many Big Macs should be consumed in order to generate the same amount of the energy output from the bomb. And also, if we want to know how many burgers should per person in US at that time consume. So we can further expand this one. Say, okay, when it per person, by the time of maybe US populations in 1945, we can have our query doing like a formula like this, and we run it. You see, it know how to interpret our input. Okay, by the US population in 1945, the result is 0.25. Okay, 0.25 means that almost every 3% in US consume one burger at that time, based on the population in 1945, would generate some amount of energy that you from the Trinity bomb. For this, that is exactly a computation thinking, how to put the question into functions that even a computer can understand, can solve the problems. And you know that this is the functions, and this is the variable, and this is a variable for the Big Mac. Big Mac is a variable for we can also change this thing. Let's say I copy the whole line, copy. Let's say I hide this output. I just double click on the bigger bracket here, hide output and paste. Second one. Now this is a variable. We can introduce the concept of variable like this. Like instead of a Big Mac, we can put maybe this is a maybe the 300 grams of grilled roasted turkey with gravy, which maybe take it in the Thanksgiving day. So this per meal of the roasted turkey. Typo error. Okay. Even I have a typo, but they're still able to correct it for me. So they say, okay, that means average 0.71 meal per person in 1945 for the roasted turkey. And if you see the output from the Big Mac is 0.29. And from here, the result comparison, we know that with different variable put in, we can see that actually Big Mac have a higher calorie compared to the roasted turkey, right? And this is something become a like the class activities or assignment that you can get them involved, and there is a very activity that can bring the discussions on. So maybe we can also say, okay, how about in fried chicken? Maybe fried chicken drumstick. Let me copy this one in the chat room. So if you want, you can try up this thing. Okay, or you can copy the whole thing and put in the Wolfram Alpha website for the query. It should be the same. So let's say we change it to a fried chicken drumstick, and instead of US, how about we change to Malaysia? The Malaysia population in 1945. Okay, how many drumstick per person in Malaysia in 1945 to consume in order to generate same amount of the energy output like a Trinity bomb? Okay. Oh, it take a while to calculate though. Too complicated then. Let me see whether you know our Malaysian populations. Okay, I think it came back with the output here. Just hit it. Oh, the call to Wolfram Alpha acid. Okay, it takes quite a while, so they have a 20-second limit. So let me run it again. Maybe it's my connection speed. Right now, it take longer. Oh, I typed the wrongly. Fried chicken, I typed a fried chicken. Maybe that's why you don't understand what I mean. Let me try again. Okay, now it came back. So Malaysia population 1945. So okay, in 1945, every Malaysian should consume 12 fried chicken drumstick in order to generate a certain amount of energy. Right? So you can see this is how amazing those information. Even if what if we put 2020? Now previously is 12, so our population have been increased for the past 80 years, 60 years. So you can see now our population has increased a lot. That's why every person in Malaysia in 2020 consume 2.2 drumstick will have an equivalent of the energy output of this Trinity bomb. Right? So this is something you can make use and bring it to class, and you can see how those query is not only a simplified question, but you can generate in functions that actually can help us to understand a lot of questions or solutions for this one. Let me show you another things that I mentioned. This is the exercise from MIT. Okay, it's about 10 years ago, 2012. Okay, for the class of mathematical method for material scientists and engineers. Okay, this is a real assignment. So probably I want to bring this assignment to you so that we will do it together and see how we solve this one with the Wolfram alpha. Okay, query. So the question is: suppose all the hair. I'm not sure you can see, but let me make it larger. This is the question. Suppose all the hair on the heads of all the world population right now are joined together, all the hair joined together in a single string, single strand. We join together, and how fast the strand will be growing, because our hair is growing every second, every minute. So if all of those are joined together, how fast this a single strand will be growing? And report your answer in the unit of speed of light. Okay. So this is not difficult. Need to find out the some information about the hair populations, the speed of light, all those information. You can get it from a Wolfram alpha query. So right now it's 11:07. Maybe we spend we take until 11:20. At the same time, try to figure out the answer. And if you've done it, you can go for a quick break, take your coffee, take a nap, go to washroom, by your break. But please try to think and figure out how to solve these questions. And once you're done, type your question in the unit of speed of light inside the chat room. We'll see if anyone can get this one. All right. Okay. Time to go, and we come back at 11:20. Right. See you then. If you have any questions, also can type in the chat room. All right. Any more any more answer beside Faiz and also Irvan? So we got two response here. 5.69 meter per second from Irvan, and from Faiz 34.44 meter per second. And Faiz also 1.1488x to the 10 to the 7 to the power of 10 speed of light. Any more answer? As I mentioned, Hinge, like first, of course, we need to know what is the variable or what is the input that probably we need to get to this final answer. So we need to know how many, what is the growth rate of the hair, human hair first. Second, we need to know because you want to sum up all, to join up all the hair in the world population. So we need to also know what is the average number of hair per person. And also we need to know the world populations. So at least these three things, then you get the speed of the growth rate. Then we convey to the speed of light, to the unit of speed of light, right? So it's just a step by step, you can build up the whole functions, the formula. Let's do it together. So maybe I will use the Wolfram alpha. So as first, we want to get the hair growth rate. If you type in the Wolfram alpha website here, you type the hair growth rate, you read our input interpretation of human hair. So on average, it's 0.4 millimeter per day. Okay, this is the speed of the growth rate. Okay, of course, you can have other unit conversions. Okay, if you are using Mathematica, you can also convert directly in the Mathematica to other Unix that you want. But in a Wolfram Alpha Pro here, they will list out several Unix that are available. Okay, now we have the Wolfram. Now we have the hair growth rate. So we need to times or to multiply with the human hair. Or we should say the total human hair. Say total human hair. Okay, so we read the hair, total human hair is typical number in the human body, okay? And then that become 2 times 10 to the power of 6 millimeter per day, or 0.02315 meter per second. Now we want to multiply with the world populations. So of course we'll get a much faster rate. So right now the unit would be 172,200 kilometer per second. Okay, because with the world population nowadays, and of course we want to convert this one in the units of speed of light. We just type the unit that we wish to have, they'll show us the result. So the result will be 0.6 speed of light. If you click show details, that's how actually the input value will read, and you get the final result. Right. So with that, actually, this question is quite straightforward, but just that we want to know how to call out the answer. It is a tricky part because we are new to this Wolfram Alpha algorithm. Sometimes we're not sure how is the way to call out the result. But as I shown you, after a few trials, probably you get more and more familiar, then you know how to reach your result with the query that actually the Wolfram Alpha can understand. All right. So this is something for the example in this MIT. But there are much more advanced questions, like in the estimate exercise number 2. This is more advanced, it involves much more information. Say, suppose every gallon of gasoline that was consumed in the US since 1940 was used to heat up the top 100 meter of the world ocean. So all the world ocean, you need to know the world ocean's surface area times the depth of 100 meter. That is the total amount of seawater, and you need to heat it up. So you want to know, estimate the resulting increase in temperature for that volume of water. So you need to know how many gasoline have been consumed in US since 1940 until now. And you need to know the heat capacity and all those information about heating up seawater to increase the temperature, all those informations in order to solve this assignment. So there will be more steps involved and more research work. But this is something also a very interesting discussion during the class homework or something, discussion for a small group like this to actually make the student think how to solve the real world problem. Is what the computational thinking all about. Of course, we are not going to solve this one, but this is something you can try on later on. All right. For next, we want to come back for much more exercise, so much more examples on what you can do with some other information. Like, let me see. Just now we talk about the biology, chemistry, and physics, and there are also much more things we can do. Okay, for instance, like let me get some example. If you are working in the area of maybe finance and engineering, these are some example I want to show you. So if you want to get those economic data, finance data, you can simply get this like the GDP comparison directly between Malaysia, Singapore, or Thailand. You can type in here, they do the comparison of GDP. Or you can get all the stock market information, the Dow Jones components. You can just type this one, you get the latest information. For your informations, all the stock market information are available. So the stock price are up to the latest, they have a delay of 15 minutes, but you can get up to the date stock price for the stock that you're looking for. So you can actually download all the information for your own analysis usage. Okay, so those are the, if I type Dow Jones component, those are 30 Dow Jones components. Not only show the Dow Jones components, but you show the summary about all the capitalization, the statistic of this 30 company, their earning per share in medium, highest, lowest, the PE ratios right now, and their top 20 ranked by return. In the last 2 years, last year, all those information are available. It could be quite handy, and you can use it as simple as maybe an interest converter, interest calculator. You can just type in this one, or you can check out what is the RM100 in USD by 1980. You can check all this out. They have all this information available. So if you want to backtrace the conversion rate in certain year for certain currency is all available. Okay, this is for our financials. And if you are working with like something maybe word and linguistic, like I say, it's not only do some computation, you can do some direct translate as a dictionary. You can just say translate desperate. You just type enter in the Wolfram query here. It shows us to translate this one from English to different, because I didn't say translate to which language. Okay, you can say translate to other language that you want. It just came out with some different language. Of course, you can click more, so you can see all the language or most common language you can translate to, or desperate. Maybe I say, okay, how will I translate desperate in Malay. I can just, oh, you don't know what I mean. Not everything is working. Eh? How about hungry? Hmm. Let me see. You don't understand what I mean. I tried last few days is working, so probably you can try from your side. I'm not quite sure what is happening here. But for those English and some Spanish, some from India, they are doing quite well. Okay? And also you can use it to search. Maybe you want to find certain word in English that contain this alphabet. You can type this one. You call out all the English word that contain AL, LA, or maybe the words containing LATE. It came out all those things. If you want to write a poem or want to write a song, maybe you're looking for certain rhythms. So you say, okay, certain word with demand. So all the rhythm, all it came out with this result band and hand, left hand, all this. Okay, this just now maybe the translations. Okay, into probably I should type into. Yeah, that's how it works. Not in. That's split. So this will be working. Oh, okay. Now it's translate certain word into Malay, then you can get out the result there. Okay, this is for the quick, normal, simple usage of this Wolfram file in the word and linguistic. And if we are looking for something like visualizations, maybe you want to use it for classrooms or presentations or handout or even assignments, you probably can make use of it very handy. Like for instance, maybe I want to get a graph like this, a curve with the x squared plus 5 and also a curve with the x cubed and a curve with x minus 3. I want to have these three lines in one graph. You can just say plot this and this and this. They came out in one graph. So for a quick and easy one, you can straight away get your output and you can just save as your graph. And also maybe you're looking for let's say maybe a chart for Malaysian populations. If you are looking for certain things that you want to get a visual output right away, this is also a place that you probably want to try with the Wolfram engine. You just type this one, it came out maybe some graph about the population history, long-term population from 1800 to 2020, and the age distributions in Malaysian population are for male and female. So you can see our this information is from 2010. Okay, probably it's not that up to date, but you can see those are the range from our populations and some other info. Okay, and probably you're looking for like you want to have something like this for your slide, your classroom teaching. You can just type human eyeball. Came out with all the information about eyeball. And one thing, of course, in this one, we can select front, left, back, top, right, all those are available, okay? So you can just select all those things for your visual that if you want to have this visual for your slide. Okay, one thing, very, probably last week, Peter also showing you some interactive, something like manipulate. But because that involve some programming language in form of language, means you need to know some basic command knowledge in Wolfram language in order to generate this visual output. But in Wolfram Alpha, we also can generate something similar, the interactive thing, without actually using the Wolfram programming language. It is one of the example. What you need, the keyword is you need to have, you want them to plot something. You use a plot or draw something, and then give them the functions, the formulas, functions with the variable that you want it to be varying. With the word with varying b, means this b is a variable. You can drag it from maybe from 1 to 10 or 0 to something. So if you type something like that, plot a curve with varying variable, you run it, you automatically came back with an output that have a button or slider for us to play around to get a interactive visual. Let me see if I can get this small. So this is how actually we can make use of this visualization in Mathematica. Okay. You see, this is my query in Wolfram in the normal natural language. And the bottom here is the actual programming language to generate the output. So even we don't know the programming language, we can just using this Wolfram query or this free-form input to key in this output, to key in this query with varying b. You can see that this thing, let me copy this in the chat room so you can try out. Okay, plot something with varying. Let's say I want to add another variable. Instead of b, I want to have a c here. C multiply with the y. So with varying b, c. Let's see if I put this way, whether it works. Oh, okay, this is working. So I have varying b and c. So this variable b and variable c. So I can create two sliders. See, we don't really need to know the programming language in Mathematica, but we can create something like this. Any formulas, just plug in the variables that you want to want to change, then you get your output. Let's say we want to have another one. I type in the chat room again. Make a control plot. Okay, I just go sign. Make a control plot of cos ax plus cos y with varying a. So you see I put an a inside here. Then I run it. Get my control plot. With the a, change the a range from 0 to 2 by default. You can change any value you want. Open the plus sign here and then key in the values probably you want to change and then enter. Okay. So this is how we can make use of this Wolfram engine. Even though we don't have the knowledge about the Wolfram programming language, you can still make something like this for your output. And this output, you can straight away copy and paste in your new notebook that you can want to use it as an assignment, or if you want to use it as a presentation file. So what do I mean is, let's say I run this one. So this is my output, and this is my input line. Probably I want the student to interact with this one only without seeing the input line. So what I need to do is I select this bracket, right click, copy. I can go to a file, new file, notebook. This is a new notebook. So what I did is I paste it. So you can see I can paste the variable inside here, and the user, if they open this file, they won't be able to see your command, but they can interact with this. And what I need to do is probably at the front here, I put the input line. I put maybe I put a title. I select other style. I put a title. say control of course. I can type something like that. Plus cos y. Okay. So you can create your title, your paragraph, your questions, and let the user interact with this without seeing your command. You save it, and you can pass to anyone. They can open this and interact with it. In Mathematica, you can save in two formats. One is with a .mb format, which is open with Wolfram Mathematica. The other one is you can save it to the CDF, computable document format. Okay, CDF it open with the CDF player. Okay, a CDF player is free. You can download it from the Wolfram website. And if you save in this format, you send this file to anyone in the world, whether they have medical license or not, they still can open your CDF file and they can interact with your visualizations. Okay, so this is how actually we share our handout or share our presentation file to others, and they still can interact with it without any licensing problem. Okay. So this is visualizations for the interactive. You probably want to try this one later on. And lastly, before I forgot, as I mentioned, there are three ways to access this Wolfram engine. The first one is Wolfram Mathematica. The second one is through the Wolfram Alpha website. And then I want to show you the third one. The third one with the third-party software. Oh, I got the chart from Madam Lim. It says it cannot vary in the website. Yes, because in the website, there's something, thank you for bringing up this thing. Because the interactive thing is running in the local compute power. So in the website, they won't be able to generate the interactive feature in the Wolfram Alpha website. They only came out with the static 2D. Okay? The interactive thing is only available in the Mathematica interface. So there's something different. Even though you get the Wolfram Alpha Pro versions, I believe it also don't have the interactive directly in that website. Yeah. Thanks for bringing this up. I should mention this earlier. The thing I want to let you know about is how to access Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha in the Google. If you are using Google document, let's say you are using Google Sheet or you are using Google document, there is options inside in the Google Sheet or Google document that you can straight away call in the output from Wolfram Alpha, or you can straight accept Wolfram Alpha inside here as well. Okay, how do you do this? Let's say right now we are in the Google Sheet. Okay, in the Google Sheet there's extensions. Extension, you can go to the add-on, get the add-on. Okay. So in the extension there, let me show again. In the Google Sheet or Google the document, doesn't matter. Both also have this extension. Go to extension, click on the add-on, and then get add-on. You just type Wolfram Alpha. Okay. Then install this add-on extension. Then you have this embedded inside your Google Sheet. Okay, you just click this one. I already installed. If you haven't, you just click on it and then just click install, accept it. And it will be available right away in your Google Sheet. So what is the feature inside here is after you install, you click on the extension. At the bottom here, if you already installed, you can click, select Google Alpha, Wolfram Alpha for Google Sheet and open Wolfram Alpha sidebar. Okay, if you click on this one, there will be a Wolfram Alpha query open up at your right hand side. So in here, there will be handy. You can just type what we want. Let's say GDP Malaysia. It's the same as the website, but it has the built-in that we can straight away get the output inside your spreadsheet. So you say this is the result. Let's say this is the GDP history. You can see they have option insert as image. If I click this one, you'll be sending this thing inside our spreadsheet or our Google document. It depends on your open spreadsheet or Google document. Okay. Of course, it won't be able to download the data as a data file, but it can be insert as a picture file. It take a while. It's still sending. Maybe the file is quite huge. Take a while, still sending. You can try out. So there will be a few different things, like you can insert as an image or insert as a plain text. Plain text is when you have a table, you probably want to insert as a plain text. Insert as a picture. Let me see, still loading. Open full. Still sending. Okay. Let me try this one. Insert as a plain text for this one. Click. Still sending. But basically, it's how it works. If you have this one built in, it will be handy also if you want to create your slide, you want to create your work document or spreadsheet with the Google, all those Google Office, you can have this built in without going to the Wolfram Alpha website, cut and paste. All those straight away you can send in and embed inside your document. So this is the third way. I encourage you to try this out. And in fact, in the Microsoft Office, they also have a new feature that came in at the end of last year. They have built in something like this. Just that I haven't really tried out, but there's a feature similar. It's not came out with a Wolfram Alpha input line like this, but they actually have the API connect to the Wolfram Alpha. They can straight away call out all this chemistry document, all those things out. But I encourage you to try out because I didn't try it. Frankly, I didn't try the Wolfram. I didn't try the Microsoft Office 365 yet, but they have this feature built in as well. All right. I think there's quite a lot of information I share with you. And if you have any questions, you can email back to us. And also, yeah, certificate of attendance. Let me give the link for certificate of attendance. This link, like if you came last week, you will know that you just type in your information, your name in the Google form, then you should be able to receive your e-certificate. And this link will be valid for 10 minutes, okay, until 12. So I put in a chat room. Just click on the link and then fill in your information to get your certificate. And also, yeah, another thing is about today's section is just a quick overview of what Wolfram Alpha and also this Wolfram language can be used for your research or even presentation. We actually came out with a design courses syllabus for these sections or this area with live instructor. Okay, so if you are keen, interested to find out more, here is the training program link. Let me take a quick overview for you about this training program. Okay, we came out this training program last year. We have run a few cohorts, and we have different area of courses for those came from different background. You probably can go for the topics that you are feel interested. We have a topic on the lecturing, presenting, and deployment 4 sections. We have machine learning 5 sections. We have a module C, data analytics 3 sections. We have module D, graph and network, vector and matrices. We have programming enthusiasts, and we have introduction and Wolfram certification. We have a few different modules. You can further click on this program calendar, we start the earliest it will be next month, end of February, for the first module to get started. And each module, we start from 100 per pax for one module. You can further create in for module A. We have 4 sections. Each section is around 1.5 hours. Module B is 250 on the machine learning. It's quite comprehensive. We have 5 days. Each day is 4 hours, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. These are the dates. So you can click further in to see the syllabus. And we also have data analytics, graph network, and programming. So if you are interested and you feel like you want to further improve yourself in this Wolfram language programming, I highly encourage you to take this course to learn it much faster, because all the course, although it's online, deliver online, but all are with live instructor, and we actually not only guide you through during the course. After the course, we are also very welcome any of the participants to come back to us if you have any questions. So for those of you that attend today, we also give you special promotions. Okay, if you sign up any of the course today, you can get a 10% off from the list price that we offer here. So just key in the promo code when you sign up, OFF10B, for today only. So if you sign up today, if for 100 fee, you get 10 ringgit discount. So it's only 90 ringgit for one module. And also for those that if you come with your friends or you introduce to your friends sign up with your name as a referrer, your friend will get 5% off from the list price, and you also will earn a 10% referral fee. Okay, so means that if you sign up for 100 ringgit cost, your friend only pay 95, and you also get another 10 ringgit referral fee, right? So everyone will be a happy deal, right? But that's for today's only. So if after today, you'll be back to the normal price. So hopefully you get this chance. Any questions? Yeah, I heard someone is speaking. If not, I'll pass to Peter. Probably have some announcement for you all. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Yeah, so Jatra, and once again, thank you very much for being here. And again, you'll be wondering how come you're giving away the referral fee and discount like that on top of already very kind of reasonable price that we already providing compared to the commercial market. For instance, for machine learning, we are charging 3,800 ringgit per head for the same session of what duration of time you're going to sign up. The content will be exactly the same. The reason is sharing is caring. So because we noticed that sometimes a lot of people always come back to us after we completed some session. Hey, do we have more? Say we just ended. So I thought you all actually coming from the same faculty or sometime with it, same maybe just who actually knows right now, but for some reason the information just didn't get passed to the person who feel that they'll be benefited as well. So that's why we put in this referral as an encouragement. So you yourself also will get benefited when you introduce someone and they will learn together with you. So as a token appreciation, whoever will join, referred by you, and you actually sign up today, we give special discount. And also coming for this Thursday, good news is we have another free session. Yes, the session we're giving away, what Desmond is saying just now, is more comprehensive. Hands-on, we are doing more like coaching. So this free session is more like sharing. Again, it's 2 hours this coming Thursday before the end of February. This will be our last session. We specialize in a topic on machine learning and neural network. Yes, this Thursday, 10 o'clock, 10 to 12, 2 hours. There will not comprehensive sharing, not workshop, but you feel free to open up the activation key we're giving to you, and then you can try to tag along. But if you find that after these 2 hours, the comprehensive sharing is helpful to your R&D and learning, by all means, we encourage you strongly to join the 5-day full-fledged sessions that will coach you and guide you how to even complete a real project. Yeah. So this coming Thursday, if you think that your colleagues will be benefited from AI machine learning, yes, let's come together. Let's learn together before the holiday. Yeah. Thank you very much. I see you there. Bye-bye.